My name's Cody King. This is my channel, Cody King's World. I'm going to show you my first time making maple syrup. When you go to tap your tree, be sure not to overhammer it. That solid sound there at the end, that's what you want to hear. If you overhammer it, you're going to split the tree. You're going to be starting off on a bad note already. So don't do that. There are lots of different taps you can order online. I ended up getting the plastic tap that had the tubing that came with it, and it also had a drill bit, and it also had a filter, so it came with everything you needed to get started with. I'll leave the link in the description of all the stuff that I use in this video. If you use plastic buckets, make sure it's food grade safe. Tractor Supply and Walmart has those.
Starting to go.
The sap immediately started flowing right after I tapped the tree. I tapped it February 21st, and I'm here in West Virginia. This is the cinder block stove that I built, and this is what I'm going to use to evaporate the sap. And also got this pan off Amazon. It is 20 by 30 inches. If you are interested on seeing how I built my stove, be sure to check out my channel. It's the most recent video. I will leave a link in the description. But if you like what you see, subscribe and follow along. So a week after I tapped into my trees, I gathered up about 5 to 6 gallons of sap. I was thinking I was going to get a whole lot more, like maybe 40 gallons or more. But this is what I got. I took the filter that came with the taps and I got kebab sticks, and I just simply put the stick through the filter on top of my sifter. And this is what I use to filter out the sap and the syrup in the end. Worked out great. Keep in mind that whenever you tap into the tree, you want to be paying attention to the weather. Most people tap into it February or March, but basically whenever you have a nice hot day, the sap is going to rise up to the top of the tree, and then whenever it freezes again, the sap will then come back down to the bottom of the tree. So you want to hit that sweet spot of whenever it is at the top and you have a cold day and it comes rushing down into your bucket. And I think that's where I went wrong. I think I kind of tapped into it a little too late, and now it's been really warm here lately. So I'm not too sure if I'm going to get more sap or not. Hopefully I do, but as it stands right now, I got about 6 gallons. Now that I got my fire going, it's time to close the door. If you watched my previous video, you would have seen how this works already. But once I close this door up, the draft will then come in around the pan
and all the smoke will come out the chimney. Just like that. Now all the smoke is coming out the chimney. Here's a quick look at what it all looks like. Now I got time to kill, just waiting around until the sap starts to boil. I fed the fire, made sure that stayed nice and hot, organized my wood, got it all stacked up. And then I popped open a soda. I've been really liking these poppy root beers. Not a lot of sugar, and it also has apple cider vinegar in it. After about 45 minutes, I finally started to see some bubbles, and we're just about there. The fire was raging. Love to see that. I love these gloves. They can take temperatures up to 950 degrees Fahrenheit, I believe. But they really help out when I have to move the cinder block on and off the fire, because that thing is super hot. Put some bigger logs on here. And that way the fire will stay going for quite a while now. And you want to try to get the fire spread out so it's hitting all of the pans, so you're getting a nice even boil. If it's just hitting one spot, it's just going to boil on that one spot. And you don't want that, or you're going to be sitting around, waiting around forever. And you can see we got a little bit of drippage there on the right side. That little nozzle was leaking. You can really see it dripping right here. That is a good bit. Didn't like to see that, but not much I can do about it at this point. I'll have to tighten it down later or try to do something. After about an hour, we were finally boiling. You can see that most of my heat and where the fire is hitting is in the back of the pan, and that's where it's boiling at. After I had it boiling, I would set an alarm for like 25 minutes, go do a chore around the house, come back and check on it. And it was 2, almost to 3 hours until it was actually finished boiling on the concrete stove. And after that, I brought it inside and finished it off. You can see where it's getting pretty low right here. This is one thing I need to improve on my setup. I don't like sliding it off the fire like this, but it was the only option, so that's how I did it. After all that, I had about a quart left, and I still had to bring it inside and boil it down more. In the end, I ended up with about a half a pint. A lot of time goes into making maple syrup. Not a whole lot of work. I mean, you're just sitting back and letting the fire do all the work. But it does take a lot of time to get this done.
Yeah, that's it. We're at like 218, 219 there.
It took about another hour until I got this finished on the inside. So altogether, the 6 gallons, I got half a pint out of it, and it took me 4 hours to do that. I used the same filter each time, and I even cleaned it after it was all done, and I'll probably reuse it again next year. After I finished pouring it, there was a lot of sugar that was left on the bottom of the pan. I just kind of scraped it off with my finger, and it was just like maple candy. It was so sweet, so good. It was just so real. Nothing fake about it. This is a pint-sized jar. You can see it's about halfway full. Now that it's finished, it's time to try it out. So, of course, I made some waffles.
Mm-mm-mm. That was good. Wow. That is so good. So worth it. That is a first for me. Making my own maple syrup, 5 gallons to a half a pint. Hopefully next weekend we'll have more to make. But man, totally worth it.